No angle.
He's given lessons, isn't he? Up there?
Yes. We got about 50 pieces in club over so far, so I don't think he's many.
Very close.
He doesn't.
Very, very close.
Taylor, what weight are those shafts?
I 110.
You got 110s and stiff? Stiff flex? Or
So it's the same with Pete Senior now. Pete cannot practice at all.
Yeah.
And come back for 2 weeks, and he's not that far out because he just goes to his, his base, and he goes to his shape, and he goes to his radius, and before you know it, whereas before he used to have trouble, he'd have to practice every day for hours and hours and hours to.
Well, you're doing hard work to fix something, right?
Yeah, that's right. The thing about it is that there's not a lot of transfer. It's just momentum from being in the right position. And you can reinvent the golf swing all the time. Like they're talking about what you do here and there, and the ground force and the rotation and the quick hips and stuff. And you can go back to seeing how these guys were back then. This is 40 years ago. You can't really change the order of the bottom of the body and the top of the body, because it's a throwing motion. So Mr. Thompson used to say, he sets up with this, gets this high, gets that bent. He looks down at the target like that, and he gets that set up, and then he hits it there, and that's the throwing motion, right? So anyone who hasn't got this at the start can't just throw that way. So it's so important, but it gets overlooked. But the thing about it is that there's not a lot of transfer. It's just momentum from being in the right position. But the thing about it is that there's not a lot of transfer. It's just momentum from being in the right position. Well, the interesting thing too is that Peter's got him feeling like this more, but he actually looks like that more.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're actually going up and around like this.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, you're really just maintaining your angle.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Really good, mate.
Thank you.
Should be back on the tour. The first bit is the most important bit, and that's the thing people overlook the most, isn't it, when you're teaching them? They don't want to fix this bit. They want to fix whether I am up the top, I'm across the line, I want to get the club more like that, or they over-rotate and they want to put the club more out there. But fixing that first bit is something that we always worked a lot on, didn't we, with you and Rebecca and all the players, really. Mm-hmm. But it's the early turn thing. So basically, when you get that and you're a bit more open and you do that, you can get that thing that Peter talks about, where you go around now, but you go around late. Mm-hmm. And in the other one, if you're a bit shut off and you're trying to get that feeling, so if you shut off a bit and you try to get that feeling, you go around earlier. Mm-hmm. You go around earlier, so you don't actually suck that, but it'll all go that way.
Yeah, but it's the late last bit before the transition that
Yeah, it'll go that way and dip the shoulder
Yeah.
down. That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Inverted body.
Like this, and I was quite a long way away from it, and I would go like
Back
that,
like that, then lift it up.
Go a bit wide,
Yeah.
and then have that kind of transfer, clear
Yeah.
out, and then real flip like this. But yeah, I couldn't do it today.
No, you couldn't do it today. No.
Cleared,
And then the catch up that way. And the flip, yeah.
Yeah, but I sent a swing to Pete probably 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to go a little bit more like this.
Yeah, feel like this more.
Kind of feeling,
Yeah.
like that, and then I can come back
Then
around.
come around, yeah.
On that, and
Instead of
close
under the plane,
face,
that way, yeah.
Get a little bit this way,
Yeah,
and it's just marginal where my spine angle tilts a little bit,
yeah,
and then I have to,
yeah. You have to match it up.
and it's just very small.
So we did work a lot in the old days on your takeaway, didn't we? Yeah, I know. That's right. Now this goes like this. So your path is taken care of. Like this. Yeah. So this goes around, this stays in the middle of this. So this feels like it's around here for me. Like this, yeah. It's only in relation to you, it's only here. But you're in, the other one which feels like it won't go in is that way. So it's sucked and it's that way. Yeah, so it's just getting your body shape right and getting your arms going in the right direction, and then swinging back around under your body, isn't it? So that you don't get the straightening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, your numbers are always going to be, well, nothing goes left of centre with your club face. But at centre, they're going to be a little bit right of centre or centre. It's your spin rate that goes a bit too much that way when you're trying to keep it to the right.
Yeah,
So sometimes.
I don't get enough spin.
Yeah, well,
Right.
you'll get spin when the ball's spinning this way. It won't go that way.
Yeah, that's right.
So you don't get enough backspin.
on me,
Balloon,
right?
yeah, right. So pretty much it's just a matter of still trying to match up your downswing with your backswing. You're just a little bit shut off with the bottom. So yeah, so yeah. But
It's been like 3 months. Well, you haven't taken it all, so
no.
it's amazing though to me that you can come back and you set it up.
No, but as he's warming up, as he's warming up because of the flight, he's working on those same things and changing the flight. That's what it's all about.
If you're kind of already in it, then you don't have to do too much.
And you're not searching for something new in it. You're going back to the same old standard things rather than searching for something new like a lot of people do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first thing that goes is your distance control.
Yeah.
With what swing speed you're going to be doing.
Yeah, sure.
And then from there, it's just maintenance of the angles to just make sure you minimise, the bad that might occur.
Yeah.
So the bad mistake.
Yeah.
See the rolls there? The thing is, like, you've got to have that there, right? But you're right about the spine, right? See, then there's no, you've got to get rid of that. Then you can control.
So that's your 4 degrees to the right. So that's 4 degrees inside out path, but your spin rate's hardly anything. So
Yeah, that was me trying to almost go straighter to starting to fade it, feel, and set up.
that's what I say to Pete Senior is let's hit me some fades.
Yeah.
That's how we always fix.
So for me to fade
This
it,
thing.
I'll just move my feet 2 or 3 degrees to the
It'd
left.
open up more.
Like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
because I want to start it that way, right? I'll actually swing it along my straight path still.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll do with the face is actually just
Just open the
do
face
that
a bit.
to maximum capacity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then just swing it, like within the structure still.
Yeah. 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 So. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So it just drops down, little fade. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So there's your numbers there changing. Centre, 400 to the right. So that for you is a big fade, but it's really close to what you want your straight shot to be. So all I was going to say to you this morning was that when you're a bit more shut off with your bottom, it goes in more rather than. So when you get open, you're actually square.
Yeah.
And then your first move goes actually more along the hand line.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you set it. So when you come down, you're going to feel more like you're cutting it like this.
Yeah.
But you're actually squarer in terms of not going inside out.
Right.
But your old pattern was wide. You go wide, narrow, wide. And now this goes more narrow, wide, and narrow. And that's your fade. So whenever I say to Pete, hit me some fades, he hasn't been able to hit fades. I know that he's been getting back to his old inside shut off, inside out.
Well, it's feels, isn't it?
It's the same feel.
This feels strong.
Yeah, that feels strong.
This feels weak. Right?
Yeah.
But it gives flight.
Gives you flight, gives you spin.
Yeah.
And also, he'll always say to me, yeah, it's going just as far as the other one because you compress it.
Yeah.
Even though the other one's a stronger feel, the draw feel.
Yeah.
So that's basically all I was going to say to you today was you shut off with your bottom a bit. I'd rather see you get like that a bit more with everything.
Yeah.
And that gets you tucked that way then. That gets you tucked that way. And we've done that before. And that makes this easier to do. And it makes that easier to do. And when you shut off a bit here, it makes this happen more. And then you're coming in more from here. And then you're going more to there. And that's your strong draw feel. So yeah, it's all back to the start, just for you. And it's like with Rodney all those years, I had to stop hitting it like this because he used to hit it long, but he'd hit it low and he'd turn it over. And we spent 20 years making him fade it, and they all went dead straight.
Yeah.
So his big fades went dead straight.
Yeah.
And that's the feel thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But as you say, when you try to hit the fade, you go more to open and swing down the line here more rather than from inside out. And that's why those numbers change. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
So that's only a subtle change to your takeaway, but your takeaway goes where you're trying to get it more from there than it does when you shut off. Because when you shut off, you'll try to do that and it'll go too much that way. Yeah.
And that gets sucked and this comes out that way.
Yeah.
And then I'll try and reroute it this way, but the body's
Reroute
not
it
right.
in there and get
You get this.
So that's your old pattern. So our old patterns never go away. We try to keep them out, even with your pupils you teach. You're trying to keep them. You're trying to, what I call, we're in remission, and we're trying to get back to keeping it out. So every time you lose it and you get that sort of motion going, you come back to the same things all the time, and then you're rebuilding that in. So as soon as the other stuff starts to happen, you can feel it. You can come back to doing more of the other. That's just the knowing your swing. So, but our old pattern's always in there a little bit. So that's why I was, saying to that's perfect. I was saying to the guys yesterday that the first bit is the most important bit, and that's the thing people overlook the most, isn't it, when you're teaching them? They don't want to fix this bit. They want to fix whether I am up the top, I'm across the line, I want to get the club more like that, or they over-rotate and they want to put the club more out there. But fixing that first bit is something that we always worked a lot on, didn't we, with you and Rebecca and all the players, really. But it's the early turn thing. So basically, when you get that and you're a bit more open and you do that, you can get that thing that Peter talks about, where you go round now, but you go round late. And in the other one, if you're a bit shut off and you're trying to get that feeling, so if you shut off a bit and you try to get that feeling, you'll go around earlier. You go around earlier, so you don't actually suck that, but it'll all go that way.
Yeah, but it's the late last bit before the transition that...
Yeah, it'll go that way and dip the shoulder down. That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So we'll have a look at it, but
yeah, it's that level. Path this way, right?
Yeah. Well, It's Hogan's pane of glass that he talked about, isn't it? Swinging under the shaft.
Yeah, yeah.
And not swinging down the target line or inside the target line. It's the same thing, yeah.
Like with Coles, like I used to caddy for Gary Coles. How he could have 3 or 4 weeks off or a month off and come back and he'd have this set up. You know, he built that in so much.
Yeah.
And it was never got real far out.
My wife tells me when I'm walking down the street and we're at the mall or anything like that, that my shoulders are always like this, and she's trying to get me to go the other way and recalibrate.
I stand like this. I stand like this when I talk to people. Yeah. I don't want to stand that way.
Yeah. What are you doing with your shoulders? Oh, I'm just practicing my golf swing without practicing.
Yeah. left hip side on the right.
Yeah.
Left shoulder side on the right. Yeah. So nothing's really changed all that much. You can see he's got shaft angle, shaft angle, shaft angle. Higher left shoulder than right. Right arm shorter than the left. And the only thing really different, he's got the big collar. Like Sevi used to, you know.
Yeah.
Because I say to people, who's that? And they go, it's Sevi. And I go, well, they had those collars for a while, the big collars. But so in the first move, you can see, like I was talking to you guys yesterday, that the levelness of the first move is really important, that things aren't turning at that point. So when people try to do, and Taylor knows this because he teaches all the time, when people are trying to do one piece, they do this, they do one piece takeaway, they're told, one piece, they go, it's all moving together, or they have to turn. They turn all together. So it's a sequence of this moving first, and then that pulls this around in the shape. That transfers whatever the weight is around to the right, inside of the right hip. That's the shape in the back, not a lot of shape in the front. Okay, so the downswing then, the arms can swing. So when the arms swing, the shoulders go back to that position there. So they're pretty much the same. So this is the store up that everybody tries to get, with the store up of the club. But the store up of the club is easier to get if you're in the throwing position, because it goes like that. It sets there and goes like that and does that. So that's the store up. I'm not trying to pull the butt of the club and do this to store up, which a lot of people think is the way you do it. So they're pretty much the same, and you can see the left side is strong, the right side's going to push into the left now when it comes down. So
Amazingly similar.
So that's how they square the club face. All right. And then so this is the body following around and following the arms. And then this is where all the pressure is, through here. So all the pressure through this side. But the thing about it is that there's not a lot of transfer. It's just momentum from being in the right position and things being pulled. So the transferring has all been done. So Taylor's old swing, he was explaining, was he used to go back wide. He had no shape. Probably hard even to do it, but he used to start like this, in that position, and he used to go back wide like this, and then he'd do this on the way down.
Yeah, it was a bit.
A lot of hands, yeah.
A lot of hands.
Inverted body.
Like this, and I was quite over. I was quite a long way away from it, and I would go like
back
that,
like that, then lift it up.
Go a bit wide, and then have that kind of transfer, clear out, and then slip like this. So yeah, I couldn't do it today.
No, you couldn't do it today. This arm doesn't stay in; it stays down, and that's a neutral wrist position there. So he only gets that because he's got the posture, and he sets it and does that and lets it pull. So that's why that all looks like that. And you see most people are looking like this, or they're looking like this, lay it off shut, or they go in and suck it up and get vertical with the shaft. That position there has still got the overness in the body. So we talk a lot about the overness. For Taylor, he's over, and when he swings down, like we looked at Gavin yesterday, when he comes down here, this shaft will shallow out like this on the way down, come back around, but the body will stay over. So this is the inside path, because that's where your shaft is. But the body doesn't go inside. And that's where a lot of better players get confused, because they come inside with both. and then they get stuck, what they call stuck. So that's a position you'll see where this hands are low, shaft's out, the hands come back into here again. The body's still over, and then the arms pull this around. So the right side starts to push in around, come in around, push against it around the left. So he looks like he's turning his left hip. The next frame will look like he's turning his left hip, but it's actually the right hip turning the left. So it's actually your right hip turns your left, and it doesn't. The left hip doesn't turn.
Yeah.
So you can see the exit point there's the same. His club face is still neutral. There's none of this. There's none of this. There's none of that. It's still the same wrist angle, transferred around to here. But that's the simplified version of angles, and that's why Mr. Hogan always finished with the rectangle. So this is a rectangle that he used to call it here. And you can't do that if you lose your body shape, and if you're swinging inside out, your club will always go that way. It will never go this way on the way through. So.
But that's after you've changed his setup a bit.
Yeah. It's after we changed his setup, because to start with it was going a little bit more, because you're a bit shut off, it went a little bit more here early.
I was doing the feel that I enjoyed the most, right?
Yeah.
Which was the strength kind of
Yeah,
feel.
the strength feel, yeah.
I remember for a couple of years there I was doing the fade feel quite a lot and playing really, really good golf in regards to like stopping the ball and things like that. But yeah, when I was playing good, but then occasionally the bad one would come in, would be an over the green shot.
Yeah.
Where I hit the green and wouldn't stop, right?
Yeah.
Where I felt like I flushed it, I hit the middle of the club face, but it wasn't the right flight.
Can't control the distance.
For what I should be doing.
Yeah. So that's pretty much not too bad when you haven't played for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing for 3 months.
I like it.
But the important thing is that you always keep doing the same things, because you understand it, and you understand what the ball does when you swing a certain way. And when you see the flight, you can then change your angles to make the ball travel the way you want to travel, and that's what it's all about, controlling your ball flight.
Yeah. When you go about it with the right structure and the process is correct and the belief factor on what's actually going on over the years, like, it just makes complete sense to me with everything that's going on physically.
Yeah.
Right.
And it protects your body as well, because it's hard to injure yourself swinging like this.
Yeah, there's nothing where
You're not
physio
twisting.
there is going to go, oh wow, that's so much torque going on in your lower right back. You know, like it's just
exactly right.
effortless stuff. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate that.
So that posture and openness is so crucial, isn't it, for that to get the arms right?
Well, the interesting thing too is that Peter's got him feeling like this more, but he actually looks like that more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it feels like you're actually going up and around like this.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, you're really just maintaining your angle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really good, mate.
Thank you.
Should be back on the tour.
Yeah. One day.
Good
I want to
man.
get some